Okay.
So we were joined by one of the first students I had in my career, McKensy Williams, class of 2017, Jim Hill High School. One of the first students I ever had when she was in ninth grade, all the way back in 2014. I've got a current student at Jackson State University, about to finish a music education. I've got a room full here with me of mostly seniors, a few juniors at Velma Jackson High School. We're recording this for all of our friends at Madison Central High School, Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. So we thank you for taking some time to speak on such an important topic today.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Well, we're glad to have you. And before we get into your college choices, take us back. Jim Hill High School, class of 2017. What all you were involved in? You were in the band of distinction, and just involved in so many things throughout high school. JPS gets such a bad rap of all the things that it doesn't have, but it actually had a lot to offer for you going through high school. And just talk about your high school experience and how you used that to transition to college.
Well, I did band. I started band in 2011 at Cardozo Middle School. Got to high school. I did band, did debate team. I did JROTC. If you guys ever heard of that, I did that too.
Okay.
And I was like, at first, I did not want to be a music major. I was like, I'm not gonna do band when I get to college. And I actually got to college my first year. I went to Alcorn, and I was just like, this is not what I want to do in life. So I took a break, and then I was just like, I kind of like music again. So I went to Hines Community College in Raymond, and then I discovered my love for music there, and then I went on to Jackson State. So that's where I'm currently at right now.
All right. So, and we'll get to that. But let's talk about that first decision you made. And again, I'm not an anti-Alcorn person. I think it's a great fit for a lot of people. But you've told me that it was not a good fit for you. And so talk about what went into that decision and what went into stepping away, because obviously it's okay to step away from a bad situation. So take us through that process and how how all that worked, because like I said, and we have some kids in here that have signed letters of intent to play college sports. Even if you're going to be an athlete, finding the right fit for you based on your needs, based on your academic aspirations, based on your financial means is so important when it comes to making a college decision.
So of course, I auditioned for the band, and I got a scholarship. This is at Alcorn. I auditioned for several bands actually. Jackson State was one of them. Valley, I want to say, and of course Alcorn. I chose Alcorn because it was like away from home, kind of like it's out there far. It was away from home. I went there. My first major was agro-business management. I'm not sure why I chose that. I just was like, just try something new. Because deep down, it was music. But I wanted to be like, different and step out and not do what my passion was. And I was in the band there, of course. I did my whole freshman year there. And it was okay, but it just wasn't for me at the time. Just that major in general was not for me. So I took a break just to try to figure out like what I really wanted to do and how I wanted to go about it. And then I was like, okay, so I went to Hines to get just like the basics of my music education. And then I was like, okay, college wise, like, I would have to go somewhere else. It's only a 2 year college. So I gotta pick somewhere else. And then Jackson State came around and I auditioned for that too and got a scholarship, and then that's where I'm at now. Can you hear me? Oh.
Sorry about that. I got buzzed by the office. So
Oh.
you went to Hines after the year at Alcorn.
Mm.
All right, so take us from there.
So at Hines, they don't necessarily have a music education program, but they have music classes. So you can take like just the general music courses there, and it will help you on up to college. And I learned a lot being at Hines, and then coming to Jackson State was like really a different curriculum, which is going to be a different curriculum there, and you just have to go with it. So now with that, I teach on the side music to middle schoolers because I want to start with that. It happened, my passion for that, like 2018, 19 when COVID hit. And it was like the music program just in general if JPS had totally died down, and it was just not as big as it was before all of that happened. So I was like, I want to start with the kids, and then this is just going to help me more with my teaching and just progressing on so that I could actually make a difference in my community here.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
what my
one thing I
passion
did,
is.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, and it's definitely finding a niche. Now, one thing I definitely did want to talk about is you were a proud member of the Sonic Boom of the South at Jackson State. Now, we
Yes.
obviously we have some athletes in here, but we have students with us now, and that'll see this later, that want to do different types of extracurriculars in college. I think there's a couple important things to talk about when it comes to that. Is you can get scholarship money for being in a band or being in a choir, being in some type of performing group. You don't necessarily have to be a music major. So there is extra scholarship money available to students that are willing to make that sacrifice. But the other thing is, especially at HBCUs, I mean, even at PWIs, being in a band is a big, big commitment. So talk about the commitment that it took for you to be successful in the Sonic Boom while you were a member at Jackson State.
So being in the Sunday Boom of the South, it definitely it takes commitment. Like as a freshman versus commitment, you don't have a life basically, and it seems like it's not all that, but it's really fun when you get to know all of your siblings as they come in your class, and that's what makes it fun. But other than that, like you just it's basically learning music, learning field shows, doing this and doing that. It's traveling. Like it was a Super Bowl. They was in Vegas last week, and just stuff like that. It's very fun, and you can always do something and go somewhere with it. But dedication, yes, you have to be dedicated. You have to have discipline also, and it's also for not for band, but for other sports too. And you can get scholarship money from choir. I think you can, but you can because they're offering that to you. You don't have to be a music major to get a scholarship either. You can do anything. Like I have my Scrapcraft sister. She has a 4.0 on GPA, and she was also a full time band member. So it's possible to go through school and do all of this stuff and still have a high GPA and be successful in band. Like it's not hard to have to be put your mind to it, be dedicated to it, and you will be successful afterwards.
Yeah, and and you're running through field shows till 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then
Yeah.
you're going on the road games, going to the Superdome, going to the Celebration Bowl, what have you. But at the end of the day, you still have assignments you have to get done for those classes. And then no matter how tired you are when you get back on Sunday, you've got to get back and go back to class on Monday. And we talked a lot about that with sports. It's the same way with band or in any other type of traveling group in college. That commitment to academics will not go away.
No, you have to like the bus rides too, or plane ride, bus rides mostly. If you're doing work then, like you're not performing that week, you're gonna be on the sideline, you be getting work done then. Getting work done, doing your sectionals at practice, just find time to just get something done. Just don't not do it, do it, and then you'll just see because Dr. Little has says like we have like these learning labs. Like you go in there, and basically like a study hall, basically, and you go in there, get your work done throughout the day. If you have free time, and then you're able to perform. If the GPA drops below a 2.0, I want to say, then you're not participating in like in activities, and so forth and so on. So just they have stuff in place for you to do your work in. You just have to do it. You just have to do it.
Yeah, it is a lot about time management and using your resources. So there's so many resources at all of these schools, not just Jackson State, that are available to athletes, available to band members. Though they really want everybody to stay eligible, and I think that's the main thing I want people to realize is, there's a scholarship money available. There's scholarship opportunities. There's networking opportunities, opportunities to travel. Basically, you've got to see a lot of cool places. But at the end of the day, you had to keep up with your academics, which is obviously the main reason you're at school. Now, the last thing because I want to get to all these questions because they're all so good. Um, you obviously went to HBCUs, and I think every HBCUs have a lot of great things to offer. But I've had students that say they don't want to go that they don't want to go to an HBCU. I say I've gone to black schools my entire life. I'm sick of it. I want to experience something else, and that could be fine. I went to Southern Miss. We've had a ton of students go there. Ole Miss. We got some at Mississippi State. So all those offer a lot of great things. But what about your HBCU experience has stuck out to you? Because I know you are very, very proud of it.
Well, the one thing that stuck out to me, because some people would be like, it's the game, it's not that. It's what you want to do basically. So I'm not like, so if you want to do like nurse or something like that, you find a school they'll offer like a great program. We basically offer a great program that they have to offer, reputation that they also have for what you want to do with your life. So that is where I had just like, okay, Jackson State has a nice music program. I can go and see how it is and learn from there. And I have learned a lot being at Jackson State, and it's just helping me with everything I have going on. So
Yeah, and I'll always say
I
historically
don't
black does
down
not.
going to the PWI. I don't down there, but still, like you can go where you want to go as long as it helps benefit you.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to major in, depends on your academic needs, depends on your, how you learn. I think it's a mistake when people go to a school that's too big and get lost in the shuffle when they need that smaller class size. But one thing I've always said is it's historically black does not mean exclusively black. The international population of Jackson State grows more and more every year. They're literally students from every continent. And it really adds to the cultural experience to getting to be around people from other cultures. And then you have, even within Americans, you have people from all over the country coming to Jackson State. So you really get to experience culture from all over the country as well. So I do think that is a hidden part of Jackson State that does not get enough credit.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I want to get I want to get to all these questions because they're all so good. So, and I'm glad they're thinking about this. This first one is Deja Weaver. She's a senior member of our volleyball team, and she asks, "Did you face backlash from your friends and family when you changed schools, and what guided you through that time?"
Hmm. I didn't necessarily experience any backlash from it. It was like, well, my first one, I went to a church, and I was like, "Oh, you going to Alcorn?" Oh my God, like a big, like little friendly battle with it. It was just, it was no backlash from be like, it depends on what you do with it. I personally enjoyed my time at Jackson State, and it's very, you learn a lot of things there. You see a lot of things. You meet new people every day. So it's not necessarily like you don't necessarily get backlash from it. Like unless you change. Well, I didn't get backlash from changing my major. It was a great thing that I did because I'm not sure what I would did with the other major that I had. So this is a passion for me. So if you're passionate, like don't let the
There you go.
backlash deter you from moving forward because it's about you at the end of the day, not about what nobody else thinks.
Absolutely. I love this question. This is Christian Mitchell. She's a member of a volleyball team, track team, powerlifting team. So great athlete. And she asked, when you went to Alcorn, how long did it take you to realize the grass wasn't as green as they claimed? And do you think you would be where you are today if you had not experienced Alcorn your first year?
It took me maybe after the first semester, I was like, this is just not what it seems to be. And I'm pretty sure if I did not go to Alcorn, I'm not sure where I would have been. Because it took me a while to like actually come to the foundation of music education. I'm not sure where I would have been if I did not go to Alcorn. I went straight to Jackson State with the major that I had. Probably would have been different, maybe, but it was a great experience. It just that just wasn't for me. And I should have stopped right then, but I wanted to keep going to see if I could actually do it, and I could not. That's not saying that it's going to a 4 year is better than going to a second year first. But for me, the 2 year college should have been first, just to get like everything out the way.
Yeah,
It should have happened first.
and not just that, the amount of scholarships available out of high school for community college, and then transferring with the Phi Theta Kappa to an Alcorn or an Ole Miss, can, just saves so much money. Um, so
Yeah.
I would tend to agree. I would tend to agree with you. It really depends on your financial means and how ready you really are. Now, this is a great segue to this question. This is RJ Jones. He's a junior. He asked, with all that took place with your decision making, do you think those moments were purposely placed there in your life to put you where you are today?
Yes, I do. I because I was just like trial and tribulations. That's what I was like, just certain stuff just had to happen for this to happen. I'm just like, why am I going through this? Why is this happening right now? I thought I had everything figured out, but I didn't. And it's okay. Because I mean, I wouldn't suggest like change your major 30 times, but at the max, I would say 3. I don't change mine once. But I was just like, it's really not all of that bad. I just did not know where I would be today if that. But yeah, it was okay. It was good. I just
Okay, I lost you for a second. I got you. Now,
okay.
and something I did want to mention too, and I forgot about this, is, for people interested in majoring in music in college, it is way different than music in high school. I was a music minor for a short time. I grew up reading music. I was a musician. Music in college is extremely difficult if you do not have a background reading music. So I think that's important to know going in as well, with all of the theory and all of the ear training that goes on on the both the vocal and the instrumental side. It is something you really need to be prepared for if you don't have that experience now. We've had some students that have started out in music and be like, yeah, I don't know how to do this, and then change to other things, and they're all doing great. So that is not something that is uncommon. This is Selena Johnson. She's a junior. She asked, when you left Alcorn, at any point did you feel like giving up, or did you know that there were better things out there for you?
I did feel like giving up because I was just like, I'm not sure what I wanted to do. I was just sitting there working a 9 to 5 every day, just trying to see where I wanted to go until I was just like, I applied for Hines at the time. So I was like, let's just see. And then I was not going to go to Hines until they had called me. And it was like, we want you to come here. We got practice starting this day. I was just like, I was about to just not go to school at all, just sit out another year or two until I got a call from the band director. I think his name was Dr. Sprayberry at Hines. He's not teaching anymore. He's like a head over there now. But I was like, he called me and he was like, okay, we're gonna set up an audition for you. We're gonna get you in. And then I was in. I was able to play third chair my first year being there. So I did almost give up until that phone call, until he had called me to come to school.
That's awesome. This is Cameron Murray. He's a senior, Mr. Velma Jackson, member of our band and our baseball team. And also just got back from Delta State Honor Choir, so he's a great musician as well. But he asked, after everything you went through, how did you know Jackson State was the right fit for you when it came to a college?
That question. Let me see. So, of course, I auditioned again for Jackson State because you have to do audition process every year. That's what the new curriculum is for the band. Audition every year
Really?
to get
Wow.
you can increase your scholarship money. If you were a current member, you can increase it,
Interesting.
and and then like you coming in. So it is great as for the music people that's in the room to learn everything because that's only reason only how you're going to be able to get an increased scholarship money. Jackson State, I was like, somewhere close to home. It was a second option anyway. If Alcorn didn't work out, Jackson State was the second option anyway. That's just those two. Um, they're big schools. They're very popular. They're just here, and it was a second option. I auditioned. They had came to junior at the time. They auditioned us, and it was a very fun process for that. So I like it now. I'm enjoying my time there now. So it's
That's
great.
awesome. All right. I like this one. This one's not as serious, but I like this one. This is Gavin Griffin, just signed to play football at East Mississippi Community College. And he asked, what are the biggest misconceptions about the Sonic Boom?
The biggest misconception about the sun, I think people think that We are just so hard. Like other bands try to imitate what we do. And I'm like, we don't haze in our band. We don't do that.
Hold on,
It's not.
McKenzie. So they just said, yeah, like Kenton High.
It's they try to imitate what we do. I'm like, we don't haze in our band. It's not. It's a non-hazing band. That's just what our motto is. Like it's non-hazing. What it is, it's a mental thing.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
all mental. You have to be like some people will quit. Like I remember my first year at Jackson State, somebody quit the first day because he didn't want to say the pledge that we have.
Really?
So
Wow.
really, he quit the first day, and a lot of people quit. Like it was a 2-week process. We were there from sun up to sundown, and it's like, and we don't. And it's just basically like it's a continuation of learning this, learning steps, learning music, and you just have to be mentally prepared for that. And I'm like, we don't do other bands. We're not sitting there hazy. We're not sitting there down each other. It's an uplifting band, and we're gonna try to encourage you to be a better you. So if you can't mentally handle it, like little exercise PT, that was nothing. That is nothing. You just have to be prepared for it because it's gonna happen. We're freshmen. It's gonna happen. You can't avoid it. If you can't avoid it. But other bands try to imitate. They're like, other bands don't have discipline. They don't sound as good. They try, they just don't. My dad getting about. I'm just saying, it's, you can hear discipline when you play. So that's all it is.
You got a good reaction on that. I think everybody tends to agree with you on that statement. This is Shania Kyle. She's one of our dancers here at Velma Jackson. She got a couple questions. She said, how did you know you made the wrong decision when you were at Alcorn? And can you think of the biggest things that influenced your decision to leave?
Alcorn, I I left Alcorn just based off of this. It was just not for me. I was very, very sad every day. Even though I was an hour away from the house, it was just being in that environment. It was just not for me. I was bored every time. It was like I wanted to be. Now, also the classes that I had, I wasn't understanding like how classes were supposed to go, like how everything had worked. I was just not understanding it. And also, you have a lot of foreign teachers in college, a lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind
Even
of
at
hard to
PWIs.
you have a lot of foreign teachers.
Yep.
I didn't understand what's going on. I'm like, this is just not for me. And I was like, I can't do this here. And when I became a music major, I don't have a lot of classes now, and I didn't have a lot of classes at Hines. Alcorn had a ton of classes. Just wasn't for me. But I just wanted to I wanted to be successful. I want to be great in life. So I wanted to do a major that would be simple for me. Because any other major it had to do with math, I can't do. I'm not a math person. I'm not good at math at all. I did math for general studies, but as far as my major, like your major comes, I'm a senior, so my major classes I'm doing it right now, and I don't have a lot. So right now I'm passing with all A's and B's. At the time at Alcorn, I wasn't disciplined enough, so I was not doing my work. I was not going to class. I was just not there for real. I was just there for a good time, basically, and it didn't so happen to not be for me. And I had a child too, so I want to be great for my child. I want him to see that you might fail, but you can also succeed in life too. You don't always have to be behind. I wasn't behind. I actually graduated with my class in 17 from Alcorn. I was okay. I finished in Hines, but I still kind of fell in line with them too. So I'm not necessarily behind because I don't want to be behind forever. I want to continue to push forward and actually get everything in line. So that's what I'm doing right now. Is getting everything in line.
I love it. I got time for one more. This is Christian Wolf. He's a senior. And he asks, what is the biggest struggle transitioning from high school to college?
Biggest struggle, I would say, one, if you can avoid it, don't get 8 a.m. class, because 8 a.m. in high school, 8 a.m. is college, two different times. And also, if you're going to do it, I recommend dorm living, because it's just easy to just get to point A to point B. Also, just time management, also a big thing, and just do your work and you will be successful. It's okay to go to parties and stuff, so it's okay to relax for a little bit. Doing your work is just, it should be a top priority. And depending where you go, like I said, a 4 year or a 2 year, just depends on how you get it out the way. Just do what's best for you. And if it's money wise, community college, you get a scholarship, go straight ahead into it. If you want to take a break off and just do community college, just get those easy stuff out the way, you can do that too. So just hop straight into like 4 year college, just hop straight into it. You don't have to do that.
Absolutely. Well, we're almost out of time. But I got two more questions for you before we go. One serious and one funny.
Okay.
And I thank you so much for taking some time for us. But the first one, it's hard to believe that it was 11 years ago you were sitting where these kids are sitting as one of my first students ever in my career. Now, how much of what I told you of what was going to happen in life actually happened?
Everything that he says is going to happen has happened. Please listen to the words that he says, because I didn't think that I would be here today. And I'm like, I didn't think that he would be here today doing what he's doing. Like, he had left after a while. I'm like, okay, he's gone. One of my favorite teachers has left the building. But like, his words has like stuck with me throughout the years, and I'm just trying to follow that and try to make and help better examples to give.
Well, you're always one of the highlights of my career, and I stand by that. And I'm so happy that I got to call you a student on my first year as a teacher. But before we go, I've got, these kids are just a few years away, or a few months away from graduation. It's literally 2.5 months, and God willing, they're going to be walking across that stage, and that change is going to hit them immediately. And to me, and I don't give a lot of opinions, but in my opinion, no other transition in your life is bigger from high school to your next step. So what do they need to do now to mentally prepare for that next step, because it is coming sooner than they think?
So to mentally prepare for that, well, I'm not sure, but you guys already have where you going. Like, right now, you're applying for scholarships. I'm pretty sure that they're open right now. If they're not, I'm not entirely sure. You're
Yep.
applying for scholarships, and you're applying for your housing and stuff like that, because they'll be quick to be gone if you don't do it. So don't waste time. Get everything done right now instead of waiting to the last minute and you end up back at square one with everything. Do it now. Get it done now. Right now in this time right now. Because you don't have long before you have to get your cap and gown and be crying with your classmates because it's time to go.
Well, I cried at y'all's graduation. My first ever students got to walk the stage. I was so glad to be there. So, McKensy Williams, we thank you so much for joining us today. Jim Hill, class of 2017, one of my original students, about to finish up, going to be a great music teacher coming out of Jackson State. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.
See ya.